I'm so back into my reading days and I'm super excited to set up my reading journal for 2025. And if you would like to see how I'm using this gorgeous book, keep it right here. Hello, everybody. This is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning. And if this is the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Here I share tips, ideas, and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. You may have seen this gorgeous journal from Archer and Olive. It came in the September subscription box of 2024, and I'm not a subscriber, but I did grab it in a D-Stash group on Facebook, and it is really gorgeous. And as you can see, you have tape sticking out because I did some prep work, and I also have the sticker sheets from the same subscription set. I have a small journal there just so that the cover can lay flat and I can work with the journal easily. So I also have this set of alphabets and also the sticker with a fairy tale theme because I'm going with a storybook fairy tale whimsical kind of look, and I am trying to avoid the whiteout, and I'm trying to stick down the paper, the doctorate journal that was from one of my Dutch stores, and I will also be coming and adding this fairy tale like garden like sticker. And I'm going to spell Priya's reading journal because my name is Priya. So I'm using these big alphas, and this is also the Dark Academia sticker set that came in that. It was a D-Stash, and it was, I think, a better deal. They was trying to get rid of most of the items in the box, and I picked a lot of it because it was a better deal, and I wanted just the journal. And I'm going in with these alphabet stamps, and I'm using the VersaFine ink, and the lace washi is from the washi tape shop. So for Archer and Olive and the washi tape shop, you can use my code Priya10 if you want to pick anything up. And for journal say, my code Priya earns you 10% off. 8%, sorry. So I'm just trying to have everything in block letters. As you can see, I just had to squeeze that in. And I will also try and see if I need something from this wrong PET sticker tape, but I stayed away from that, and I'm going to, yeah, that was a big mistake, so I'm having to white that out because I was going for the apostrophe and coming in with a Uniball Signo, which is a white gel pen, and I'm completing the apostrophe there, and I think I will need just one more sticker to kind of pull it all together, and using that clip which is from Journal C, and I will be painting using acrylic paint. So I have done the painting otherwise with acrylic paints, but not in a journal so far, because whenever I am painting I will be doing it on the canvas, and I do have canvases in multiple sizes, so I just go straight for that. No overthinking if it is not as pretty as I imagine to be. Too bad, it is what it is. So I'm just using green and purple just like what I did last time, and I'm also trying to bring in as many stamps, and I have my stamping blocks, the acrylic blocks, all there, and I'm going with a coat with all the alphabet stamps again, and I'm using the Hans Christian Andersen's quote, "Life itself is a wonderful fairy tale," because I think I'm going with a fantasy, a wonderland, a fairy tale, all those kind of vibes. And I was going for those hardbound books that we have. So I was going for those vibes, and this again is influenced heavily by Erin Smith. I will link her channel, and she has great setups for her normal bullet journal or for her reading journal, all of that. And I'm carefully taking off the tape, which gives it a more crisp edges. And it did take more time than I had anticipated because I had to wait for the paint to dry on every page before I turned the page. So I'm completing that word there. And also, I will come and stamp the person who said that. And I will also be trying a few new techniques here. So it did end up being a very time consuming process. That's what I was saying, because I had to wait for the page to dry. And it did end up really nice, and I really love how this turned out. You'll see as you go through the process with me. And let me know if you have a reading journal set up and how you do that. Do you do that every month? I mean, I know people who read like 20 books every month. I'm nowhere close. I had a goal of 25 books for 2024, and I do have my Goodreads profile linked if you want to follow me there. And I'm close to hitting 50 this year, which I'm really excited about and so proud of myself. And I'm using the acrylographs from Archer and Olive from the metallic set, and this is a 0.7 mm, and I'm going ahead and doing just the edges. I should have used the same bigger stamps for the edges, but just decided to go with these thinner ones so that the focus can be more on the top edge. So I wanted to see if I can squeeze in another one, but no. And I went with this crown, which will go right in the middle. And again, you will have lots of these things you can see throughout the setup. And should I, yeah, I will, for a second, I thought I will add something to that ripped paper because I had the washi tape set up the day before. So I think some parts of it really got stuck to the page, and that was the bummer. So I'm using the plum color, that's the paint color. I will link all the products I'm using, including the stamps and also the paint, the tools I'm using, like the tweezers or the acrylographs, all of that. Even for wrong, for new customers, I do have a 10% off link if you want to check that out. And all the shops and codes and links will be in the description, along with my earlier reading journal setups and the updates and all the fun reading related stuff has a full playlist. And I also had a quick video on how you can use the HP Sprocket to print the book covers, the tiny book covers that you see people use in their journals. And I do have all of that linked. So I'm just taking off the, again, one more accident right there. Just being careful to not have any more casualties. So just using the Tombow Mono Dots adhesive to glue down that torn edge. Again, another casualty. So just being a bit careful about which direction I pull the washi tapes in, and that is a more cleaner finish. And it was not as perfect as I had wanted because the paint was still not fully dry. So now for the inside parts, and I my setup is much simpler from what I had done last year because my last one from 2024, the setup was done in March. And I did make some changes because I went a bit simpler, and I'm picking and choosing the layouts and the spreads or the pages that I need, because I'm skipping the book bracket entirely, because I know that I read between a lot of languages. So you really don't need a book bracket because it does not make much sense. So that is why I had to skip that. This was the first time I actually used the acrylographs for my stamps, and I do hear that people really love it. And maybe it was the gold color that I went for, that it is really hard when I press it down, because it depends on how intricate the pattern is. That also determines it, I guess. So I'm just trying to see how well I can have all these ornate designs, but yeah, it does not come out as perfectly as I had wanted it to be. And I'm going in with this crown again. And I had very big plans, and when I was realizing that it is taking much longer than what I had planned for, I decided to kind of skip the painting part towards the later pages, because it was just not happening. Because it almost took me like a few hours between the breaks and the setups and all that. So I'm trying to see if I should bring some of those corner pieces also. And I'm going in with the acrylographs over the pencil marks. And I had these pencil marks all done. I know it's not the perfect size or completely symmetrical or anything, but it will do, I guess, because this is just the landing page for the year, and I'm using the Muji pen to draw like an outline for the page, because I wanted to have a bit more of a crisper finish. And I do not anticipate using up the entire journal this year, so that is why having like an yearly starting page would be nice. And on to the next page. And I had some major plans in mind, and this was, I think, the index and the number of books I read each month. So this was the index page, because it would always be nice to kind of see which page numbers. Once I have the whole setup ready, I will have the page numbers assigned, so that way I can see what pages correspond to what year. So here I'm going with just the edges, paint along the edges, and as you can see, I'm just alternating between the purple and the green. And I'm using these alphabets again. And the only downside to these alphas is that there is only one of each. It's just 26 pieces. And so I did grab multiple ones, because what if you had to write a bookshelf and then a book bingo? How many? Yeah, you will need a lot. So I picked up around 4 packets, I think, of the alphas. So I'm just erasing the titles I had written. And I'm going with the books read. Instead of books read, I'm just going to say books, because it would just take up the space, right? So I'm going with, yeah, I decided to try, but then realized it just wouldn't fit. So I'm kind of taking off the tape and doing the boxes again. So let me know what setups you have in your reading journal. Is it like a book bound system, or is it a disc bound system, or do you just do it virtually? And do you just not have any hard copies of your journals? I mean, it's It's what works. Oof, I can't speak. It is what works best for you, I guess, right? So I'm just going to have all the months written there, and then I will come and add some of these gold thick washi tapes from, I had picked it up from HNO, the Hemlock and Oak. They had it on their website. I picked it up while I picked up my Hemlock and Oak planner for 2025. So this just came, and I had to bring in some of those golden washi tips. I threw in a couple of PET stickers from Wrong Wrong, and I think that page looked nice. I went ahead and added a couple of stacks of books to the title page. I'm not sure that was a good idea, but it is what it is. I can always take it off if I don't like it. Now for the bookshelf. So here also I thought I will go with purple again, but then realized that I had planned to use the green ones here. So yeah, I almost dug through all the alphabets and then switched it, and yeah. So now we are back to the bookshelf. I will just write the big block letter, the first one, and then I will come and stamp the rest. And also you should also remember that I had to stop and clean these stamps after every use because it was just too much, and the inks would get on everything. So I had to stop and do that as well. And I also have to give a big shout out to Wrong Wrong and the quality of her stickers, because these PET stickers, I had left the ink pad open, and these matte finish PET sticker roll, it was all spread out, and it just went and touched the ink pad, and it had ink all over the PET stickers. And by the time I noticed, it was already a lot of ink on the actual PET stickers, and it was a breeze cleaning it out. I just used a baby wipe to wipe out all the ink, and with absolutely no damage to the actual stickers. So hats off to the quality of the Wrong Wrong stickers. And as you can see, I'm also cleaning the ruler after every line because I don't want any smearing after each use. I'm just trying to be careful to not brush against the pages much. And this is a Muji 10. So I think it's a bit more of a darker, brighter color. So that is why I have used this. And this one is a mile liner in the olive green. I thought it went well with the rest of the stickers on the page. So now for the simple Dutch door, and I'm using the same technique again. So the bookshelf can be visible on either side, and I will have 2 pages to decorate all the names of the books with. And I would rather have lots more space than needed and not having to run into no space. So I think it is a good idea. More is always better. I can always come and add decorative elements if there is a lot of space left. I'm assuming around 50 books, but let me see. I'm not forcing myself. It happens, well and good. If not, it's not the end of the world. So that is the next set of pages ready, and it will be for a series tracker and a book bingo. So I'm moving the tapes again because I realized it was just taking too much time. So I am going ahead and adding the lines just so that we can fill in that bingo card. And is this something that you normally include in your big journals or setups? Because I would love to hear. And I'm going with, again, the alphabets. The first alphabets will be in these ornate letters, and then I will go ahead with the stamping. And what do you like to include in your book bingo? What is your, I have some, I looked it up on Pinterest and I assembled some prompts so that I could use it in my journals. And what was your favorite of favorites when it comes to the books this year? So for me, it's going to be a tough choice between all the mysteries and yeah, some of the Reese's Book Club recommendations. I loved quite a few. I really loved the Wrong Time, Wrong Place, and it was a time travel one. I really loved that. And the next one was The Comfort of Crows. It's a nature related, as somebody who is into gardening and into nature and really loves the sights and sounds of nature. It was a really, really good book. I really loved it. So I have some of those prompts that I really liked from last year in here so that I can discover more authors and such interesting themes for next year. And also some of the Native American tribes. A couple of the books like The Firekeeper's Daughter, and it was a new author to me, and I really find such really strong women characters in native tribes coming from a matriarchal part of the setup, the social setups. Our background, our ethnic region, we do have a matriarchal form of society, and it's very uncommon. So somebody with that background, I think it really speaks to me when they talk about women empowerment and strong women in the community or the family. It really speaks to me. So I really found that interesting, and I really loved such strong women. So on to the next one, which is for the Reese's Book Club recommendations. And I'm going with something really fun here. I'm using again these green alphas, and I'm using these the typewriter fonts from Planet Derby. And these are printable stickers, mind you. So you can print them over and over again. So this was a fun element I had to include. I'm just trying to bring some fun components in here and also making sure that I can make use of my stash. So I tried to fit that in, but then realized that it will just take up too much space. And I'm going another route now. So that goes at the top, and there you go. So I will also be using the alphabets for the months of the year. And it's a quick setup. And I really could have used some decorative corners or something for the... I'm not quite sure what happened, but looks like the footage for this part is lost. So I just came and added the alphas again and the typewriter fonts from Planet Derby for the title, because I do have a few books from 2024, part of the Reese's Book Club recommendations that come out every month that I have not been able to get hold of. So I do have those to get back to before I continue with the current books, which will be for the 2025 when I start using it. And I would also like to try a couple of new authors, so the page on the right will be for that. Adding a couple of stickers from the PET stickers just to go on the page. And we will turn to the next one, which will be for the A to Z challenge. And I really loved looking back at all the alphabets I've done. And I'm bringing back the paints again using the purple this time. Just making sure that I protect the bottom page also. And I did notice some gaps there, so I'm adding the scrap piece of paper at the bottom, just holding it there and then going ahead and finishing off the page. So while that dries, I'm just trying to get the title. See, I had to come back for filling that in because I was risking the danger of smearing. So on to the A to Z challenge title. And I'm just spelling it out nice and simple. And I will come and add the alphabets for the challenge using Darby stickers. And I was waiting for that to dry, and I did come and add the review page. Again, I had plans to paint, but then decided otherwise. It was totally taking up a lot of time. So again, this is once a year, so I would rather have some fun with it instead of just overthinking it or worry about how it would look, because I usually try and keep an open day for the setup, because with the last one I learned that I will need to account for a decent amount of time just so that I can enjoy the process rather than just rushing through it and then getting stressed about it, because the whole point is that you enjoy the process, right? More, it's not just about the destination, enjoy the journey. So I'm finishing off that, skipping X and Z. I'm not sure if we have good books with Z, but we'll see. I can always accommodate that. And I'm going to fit that in, then do the last three alphabets, accommodating that telephone there, the old school dialing telephone. And I'm using a couple of these stickers from the Dark Academia sticker set from the subscription. And I also am coming in with that crown just on the books. Why not? And I'm coming in with the reviews page. And this will kind of be the last one before I go and finish off the other pages, because once you flip through them again, you will see some things you might want to change. So just doing that, and these couple of stickers, and then the lace washi up at the top. And the lace washi is from the washi tape shop, and my code Priya10 can be used at the washi tape shop, just like with the Archer and Olive. And it's a great time to be picking up these, because these are really, really useful. I come and include them in a lot of my spreads. I'm really loving how the fun effect looks on the paper. And these PET stickers also, between last year and this year, I think I've made quite a dent in the tape. And now you see me come and add some of the numbers and alphabets across the multiple pages. And Yeah, I do have the full setup in the playlist when it comes to how I originally started, and I also had a review of how the journal setup is going. So I will have all that in the description. Please also check out the shops and products and the codes I mentioned. And your support is greatly appreciated if you decide to shop through those. It really helps me out with the growth of the channel. Please come follow me on Instagram. It's a lovely community, a great encouraging community we have out there. And if you like today's video, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification if you don't want to miss any of my future videos. And please share this with anybody who you think will find this useful. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in my next one. Bye.